Hi, I'm Tim, welcome to the Restoration Couple. Finally time to give this side of the garden a bit of a facelift. As you can see, this old fence hasn't got more than a couple of weeks left in it. It's really falling down very quickly, so we're going to replace that this evening. As you can see, in the past it's just standard fence posts bolted through the wall, which is a concrete wall, and then ordinary lap sort of feather edge type fencing, and it's all falling down. It's also kind of damaging the wall as well because there's a bit of wind movement. So we're going to replace it with a different system but along the same lines. First of all, I thought about going feather edge standard fencing all the way down here by putting posts, then the rails, and then boards, close board type fencing, doing that as individual components. So it's a bit of a mock-up. If we had our wall here, we'd have to bolt our post into the wall, and we'd then either have to put our rails across this side and then the fencing, which would leave a big gap down the back of between the wall and the fence. Or if we wanted to, we could put the rails on the back of the fence on the wall side and just kind of clad the in between each post, which would work, but it just didn't look quite right. So what I've decided to do is use these H posts. They have a gap ready just to slot in standard fence panels or heavy duty fence panels like we've got here, and they're made at the local sawmill and all tannalised, and I'm thinking that's a good way to go. And the only gap we'll end up with between the wall and the fence panel is this space here. First job is to get the old ones down with rusted bolts. I think we need to get the angle grinder out. think I have to call it a day there. It's a good start. It's a couple of hours. It's so hot today I couldn't get anything done during the day. I've been putting in the panels one by one as I go, simply because I'm working on my own, but it also gives me the perfect spacing and keeps, if you get that first post straight, it helps, you know, as you go along. You still want to check everything every time, but it keeps everything square. As this wall drops down in levels between each of the kind of concrete piers, it's exposing more of the fence the other side. So the next one along, I can get away with this one, but the next one I'm going to have to grab a 6 foot or a 5.5 foot, the next size up, so it'll be a little bit longer on this side. I've also put the good face facing out. Most people would do it facing them, but actually that long awaited workshop that I've been talking about for years will eventually be built here, so I won't see it, and it's a bit nicer too for the lane anyway. Just looks a bit neater, and I kind of don't mind this side anyway. I'm going to be working, this is my timber framing area now, so I can see myself sticking a few kind of hooks and things on there anyway to hang up. Tools, that's kind of part one of the fencing. I've got another 6 panels to run down. There's a hedge for some of it, so I'm going to be working kind of tight to the hedge, but hopefully I can get that whole run done, and then we need to get the gateway sorted. I'm going to widen the gate. Now the old gate up there I need to sort out. I'm going to try and get it slightly wider, maybe put in a pair of gates, or just one wide one and then a hinge section beside it. That's going to help with access, bearing in mind the workshop's going to be here and I'll be in and out all the time. I know I say do it yourself all the time, and we are doing it ourselves, but I'm so glad I didn't make all the panels myself. When I kind of added up the materials needed, I was going to save about £5 per panel. And again, the posts, the H posts, you can make your own by using kind of 50mm square timber and then wider timber and nail it all together. But I would have been 2 days, whereas I've done 2 hours and I've already got half of them in. So, yeah, good compromise, I think. So there we go, that's it. Make sure you give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. You can click subscribe down below, click the bell symbol, you get all the updates. We've got more fencing projects coming, or at least the rest of this fencing project coming before we get on and crack on with this timber frame. But apart from that, thanks for watching. Remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time.